Hello and welcome to 3050's WSCT Level 3 podcast. In this podcast on Rioja, we have two interviews. The first is with Eduardo Beltran, the head winemaker at Faustino in Rioja. The second one is with Julia Sanchez, also from Rioja. In our first interview, we talk about the aging of Rioja, the Joven, Crianza, Reserva and Grand Reserva. The years of aging that are given are slightly different for Rioja than for the rest of Spain. And then the WST Level 3 course, you only need to know the numbers for the whole of Spain, not for the specific case of Rioja. Secondly, both interviews talk about slightly different winemaking techniques used for making, say, a Joven or a Crianza from a Grand Reserva. The key differences from the winemaking point of view is for a Joven or a Crianza, generally the wines are fruitier, as opposed to a Grand Reserva where they need more structure for aging. So a fruitier style of wine is more likely to have pre-fermentation maceration to extract flavours but not tannins, and is also possibly going to have, particularly the Jovens, some semi-carbonic maceration. Whereas a Grand Reserva and possibly a Reserva is wanting to extract more colour and more tannins for the aging process, so they're more likely to have a post-fermentation maceration. I hope you enjoy the interviews. Hi, I'm here with Eduardo Beltran. How are you, Eduardo?
Very nice, thank you.
Excellent. We're going to be talking a wee bit about Rioja and the different areas of Rioja and some of the rules in Rioja, really. Rioja is quite a big region. Where is it in relation to Spain?
We are in the north of Spain. Mm-hmm. We are very near of the Ebro River.
Yep. Just geographically, it's north of Madrid?
Yes, it's in the north of Madrid, and very near Bilbao, for example. It's another important city in the north of Spain.
Yep.
And
it's about 4 hours. I drove up from Barcelona.
Yes,
and it took me about 4.5 hours.
We are 500 kilometers, more or less, from Barcelona.
Yep.
And
must mean I was speeding a wee bit.
Yes. It's better if we speak in hours. We are 5 hours away from Barcelona and 3 hours in the north of Madrid, more or less.
3 hours north of Madrid.
Yes.
And 5 hours,
5 hours
west of Barcelona.
Yes, this is okay. This is more or less.
Yep. And it's quite high up. It's like I've been in Barcelona for the last couple of days and it was quite warm, even though we're recording this in February, mid-February, and up in Rioja here, it's actually quite cold. How high up are we?
Yes, but today we have a very special weather. It's not usual in the last day to have this sensation.
Oh, okay, it's not.
Yes, but the normal is that that here, as you say, we will have more cold than in Barcelona, for example.
Yeah.
We are higher than Barcelona.
How much higher?
500, more or less, 500, 600.
500, 600 meters. Okay. So normally you lose a degree of temperature, degree centigrade for every 100 meters. So you're probably about 5 degrees colder than Barcelona, maybe?
Yes.
Yeah, roughly, give or take. Yeah.
Yes.
Rioja itself is not just one region, it's actually made up of 3 regions. What are the 3 regions in Rioja?
It's the Rioja Baja,
Rioja Baja,
Rioja Alavesa, and Rioja Alta.
Okay.
This is the main regions.
Rioja Baja, I've tried a few, when I was in Barcelona, I tried a Rioja Baja and a Rioja Alto. You know, the wines were made purely from those regions. How do the regions change? Because they seem to be quite different wines to me.
I think that the difference is due to a situation. Mm-hmm. You understand me?
Yeah.
Due to a situation. Because maybe the most special is the Rioja Alavesa. That it's a way that is very, very well protected with these mountains. We are now in Ollón, and we can see a chain of mountains that protect us from the cold winds that comes from the north of Spain.
Okay, so cold winds from the north.
And then this part, our vineyard in the Rioja Alavesa, in the way that is between near the village of La Guardia, Ollón, this village, that is where Faustino's group has his vineyards.
Yep.
It's a way very special. It's a region very special because it's very protected by the mountains and has some altitude.
Yep.
and has a very special, very wonderful conditions for to make wine.
Okay, and what's Rioja Baja like?
Rioja Baja has maybe is more sound
Yep.
with less potassium.
Yep.
Is more hot
Yep.
than this way. This is more or less.
I wasn't quite sure what the climate difference was, but when I tasted the Rioja Baja, I thought it tasted a lot heavier and a lot fuller, and maybe certainly not as much crispacity to the wine, and maybe even a slightly more cooked than maybe the Rioja Alvesa.
Yes, and Rioja Alta is more or less more similar with Rioja Alavesa. More or less.
Is maybe it higher or?
Yes, maybe it's higher.
We were higher.
But the most
alto means high, doesn't it, in Spanish?
Alto.
What does it mean in Spanish?
Alto.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay. I don't know, alto. I thought it meant height.
High is alto. Yes.
It doesn't mean that.
Yes, no, it doesn't mean nothing. And Rioja Baja is maybe the most different.
Oh, okay. And it produces the heavier wines. But do you guys make a wine specifically from Rioja Baja or Rioja Alvesa?
For us, the best the region is Rioja Alavesa. Is the region that has the best conditions to make wine, to make excellent wines, to reflect the style of Rioja.
Rioja's got some funny rules about aging wines. You've got the 3 stars, Crianza, Reserva, and Grand Reserva. There are rules about aging. Do you want to just tell us what they are?
Yes. Crianza is a wine that has been 2 years in the winery.
2 years, yeah.
And at least 12 months in oak.
So 2 years in the winery, 1 year in oak, at least.
Yes. Okay. And then you can have your wine 14 months in oak, 10 months in bottle, but it depends on you. Okay?
Yeah, sure.
What it is. And the Reserva is a wine that has been at least 3 months in winery.
3 months.
3 years, sorry.
3 years.
3 years. And in this time, at least 12 months in oak. And the Grand Reserva is a wine that has been 5 years, at least 5 years in winery. And in this time, at least 2 years in oak.
I've noticed some Crianzas that I've tried have used American oak, some have used French oak. Is there any rules about what style of oak you're allowed to use?
No, you can use the type of oak that you want. Mm-hmm. The type of oak that you want to use to get the style of wine that you look for. This is the most important.
Do you use the same grapes for the Crianza as the Grand Reserva? How do you differentiate between the wines,
Yes, for the Grand Reserva we have to use grapes that are going to be in best conditions in a long time. Mm-hmm. Because it's a wine that you are going to consume, to taste later. Sure. Then you have to select more the grapes to elaborate this type of wine. Because it's a wine that is going to be more time in the oak, and you know that the oak has very powerful, and then you need a grape with powerful to resist the time and these type of things.
Yeah, wines often lose acidity and tannins as they age. Do you make the wines differently, or do you make them all the same and just pick the wines that's best?
We try to make different styles, different styles because the wines are different. The Crianza is a younger wine with more fruit, with more intense color, and the Grand Reserva is an older wine, more fine, with less fruit, with more oak, more ensemble.
Assembled,
more assembled, the Crianza, and these are different wines. And then you need having different styles, and you must have defined before what you want to keep these wines.
So if you're making a Grand Reserva, you might give it more skin contact and things like that.
Yes.
To get more flavors and tannins out of them.
We use different technicals to make these wines.
All right. I think we'll wrap it up there, Eduardo. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for you.
Hi, my name's Chris Scott and I'm here with Julia Sanchez. How are you, Julia?
Fine, thank you.
Excellent. You're from the winery Hacienda El Ternero.
Yes.
Excellent. And that's based in Rioja.
Yes.
And Rioja, very famous wine region.
Yes, it's the most famous origin in Spain. Everybody know Rioja for the brand. It's like a brand.
It almost is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We did a survey, or I read not survey. There was a survey a while ago about the best known wine region in the UK, and it was Rioja.
Yeah.
And I ran a quiz, and one of the questions I ask is, what's the most best known wine region in the and a lot of people jump to Bordeaux because they think it's a wine tasting, that's the question. But Rioja has got very good brand awareness.
For us, for the Spanish wineries and Rioja wineries, the most important market is United Kingdom, and the second one is Germany.
Germany. Okay, the Germans, because Germans are a little bit tight with their wines. They don't spend much on wine.
But they are not producers, and for this reason, they are consumer other wines from other origins. And Rioja is a very well-known brand, the same that in United Kingdom.
Rioja's divided up into different regions.
Yeah.
There's 3 main regions, isn't there?
3 is Rioja Alta, Rioja Baja, Rioja Alavesa.
Now, Rioja Alta, you said that the influence, you've got the Cantabrian Mountains, you've got the Atlantic.
Obarenes Mountains are covering the winery, and the weather is very, very important, no? The influence that we have to the Atlantic.
When I teach students, and one of the things I teach them is the 4 A's. Atlantic, altitude equals Alvisa and Alta.
Yeah. We are in the highest part of Rioja, no? The altitude is 650 meters. And you can see in the terroir and in the grape these other properties. For this altitude, the acidity is higher and the quality of the grapes.
Yeah, Atlantic is an influence. Do you get the rain coming in through the Cantabrian Mountains, or?
Yes, the Obarenes Mountains or Cantabria Mountains are covering the winery. And when you are tasting the wine, you can feel, no, these characteristics.
The freshness coming in.
Yes.
Okay, and because of the altitude in the Cantabrian Mountains, it's cooler.
Yeah.
But that means you can't grow the same grapes as they might grow in, say, Rioja Baja.
No, it's the same, for example, that we are producing mainly Tempranillo, okay?
And I noticed you've also, in your wines, you've got a little bit of Manzuelo.
But we have Mazuelo too, no? And Garnacha. But for example, Garnacha, the evolution to Garnacha in Rioja Baja is better than the evolution to Garnacha in Rioja Alta. But the Tempranillo is different too. More volume in the mouth, no? And in the color, you can feel that it's strong and the acidity highest. Depend of the weather, depend of the terroir, you can see that the grapes and the properties are different.
Yeah.
No? And it's not the same, the Tempranillo that you can find in Rioja Baja and in Rioja Alta. And in Rioja Alta, the maduration is very, very late, at the end of September, no? Mm-hmm. And you can find more acidity.
Yeah.
More body, balance.
Yeah, the wines are fresher and probably a little bit more, because it's a longer ripening, you got more flavor build up, have you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And Garnacha, for example, is better the Garnacha that you can find in Rioja Baja than
Do you
in
think
Rioja
so?
Alta. Yes.
I didn't think so. I always think of Rioja Baja as big Grenache and Graciano as the other grape variety that's in...
I love Graciano.
Oh, I know, it's fabulous.
I have not Graciano, but I love Graciano because it's very floral, white flowers, it's very fresh. I love, no? But you have to make a very short aging. No, you can give long time in barrel because you cannot feel these properties, no, these flowers.
Oh, okay, they're low. Yeah, they'll oxidize out.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't grow Graciano. You grow. Do you grow?
You have. We have Mazuelo. And Tempranillo, Mazuelo, Viura.
Viura for the whites.
Yeah.
When you planted the new vineyard, did you plant any Graciano?
No.
You don't think not ripened enough?
Our terroir is not the kind of terroir for this kind of grape, because this is very important, no? If you are planting tomatoes, you cannot plant grapes. You have to study well the terroir, you can study well the weather and everything. In our case, the Graciano, for the altitude that we have, is not the kind of grape that is growing up well.
Yeah.
And for this reason, we are not planting.
Yeah, okay. Because I always think of Rioja Baja is Grenache and Grenache and Graciano.
Yeah.
And increasingly Graciano as well, because, as you said, Rioja Baja used to be more bulky. Grenache can produce a lot of volume, whereas Gracianos are more quality, lower yielding grape variety. So it wasn't as popular, and now increasing in popularity, I think.
And the Gracian is giving a really nice color, no? And about all the flowers,
Yeah.
the white flowers, the violets. It's really nice grape. I love this kind of grape.
So Montuela, I think most people think of Montuela. The other name, what's the common name for Montuela?
Carignan.
Carignan, yeah, Carignan. And Carignan's known for colour, tannins, and
acidity, color is giving more powerful
Yeah.
color to the wines, and the main thing is that it's giving long life to the wines. For reservas and gran reservas, to use Mazuelo to give long life.
Yeah. And your wines, when I tasted them, I did notice the freshness coming through
Yes.
in the wines. They weren't heavy. They were very nice, actually. I thought that, and they had nice length as well. You know, the wines were very good Riojas. I liked them. Especially for a Tempranillo-dominated wine. I don't think of Rioja, once you've bought a Rioja, you know, a Crianza, Reserva, Grand Reserva, I don't think about aging them any further, because you sort of think, oh, they've done their dash.
In our case, we are using only French barrel because we want to preserve the flavors and the fruitful that the grape have. And for this reason, in our case, we are using only French. It depends on the reference, new French barrel, or second and third use, no more than this time. And because we want to preserve and we are looking for very fresh wines.
Do you think your wine, does your wines age afterwards? You know, if you think about something like a Crianza, where you've still got reasonable tannins and obviously acidity there, and they're like the big building blocks of aging.
Yeah. In our case, for example, the Crianza that we are producing is only 12 months in French barrel, second and third use, because we are looking for a youth wine, no? Very, very fresh and fruitful. And when you are testing our wines, you can feel the fruit, red fruit, the main characteristic to the Tempranillo.
Yeah.
It's very honest wines. The same that you are smelling is the same that you are testing. No?
Yeah.
This is, for us, is very, very important. No? The American barrel is good, and in Rioja we are using, the other wineries are using the 80% to the production is American wines and the aging. But in our case, we are looking for other kind of wines, and we have a very small production, and we are carrying the quality from the vineyards to the consumers. No?
Yeah.
And the French barrel are more elegant.
Yeah, well, you say that. Not every American will say that. Not every American. Okay then, Julia. I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.